Hello guys, Fred here from Pro Tennis Trader. I hope you're well and I hope you had a great US Open. Now I was running my Platinum Traders group over the 2 weeks of the US Open, and this video is kind of a bit of a debrief about that. And we're going to have a look at some analysis. Now these are my results from the 2 weeks of Platinum Traders. We ended up with 20 points, but as you can see, this Platinum Traders was quite unusual in the fact of the amount of no trades we had. Now, if we compare that to Wimbledon, where we ended up with just over 20 points, in fact, just under 21 points, we only had one no trade match. So this was quite unusual for the US Open, but this comes down to my sort of quite risk-averse approach in trading. Of course, there's no point in what's happened there. There's no point in trading a match if the analysis is telling you not to trade it. Of course, this was unusual. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it is very frustrating to have these no trades, but I'm going to show you the two finals matches, in the women's and the men's, to just show you what you should be looking out for any alarm bells in the first set. And actually every single one of these no trades, the signals were proven to be correct, and I would have lost money had I traded the second set. So if we go to, let's have a look at the women's final first. So in this final, Sabalenka won 2-love. It was quite an interesting final, but obviously not one for trading. So if we start off with point by point, in fact, first of all, let's just remind ourselves of the odds. So we're in fractional there, but basically Sabalenka was the really odds-on favourite for this match, and obviously that was proved to be correct. So in the first set, quite a messy set. Now we do expect more breaks of serves in the women's matches, which of course is why I tend to stick to the ATP. Now interestingly, Sabalenka was broken first and then broke back. So we had 1, 2, 3 breaks of serve from Pegula. Now, if you're looking to back Pegula, depending on what strategy, it would have most likely been a sit-back approach in the second, but you still want to see confidence serving. I mean, look at this. She went to love 30, and went to deuce, 15-40. And this final service game from Pegula was the major alarm bell. Lots of deuces, incredibly messy. It's not what you're looking for in a trading match. So if we have a look at the stats. Now, actually, the stats in set 1 actually tell quite a different picture from what actually happened in the game, which is why you've always got to look at the two combined. You've got to look at the points, and of course you've got to look at the stats. So Pegula actually had a higher first percentage going in, and she won more of her first serve points, which is very interesting. Second service points was pretty poor from both players. 57% of the break points saved, but of course the fact that she even had 7 break points to save, that's a major alarm bell. Only 4 from Sabalenka. Returns we're not too worried about. So winners. Now this is very interesting. So 11 unforced errors. Sorry, we'll talk about the unforced errors first. Unforced errors 11 versus 23. Now 23 unforced errors, if you didn't have that amount of winners, 25, that would be a serious alarm bell for any player. And unusually here, it's the first set winner. But of course, what that demonstrates is how aggressive Sabalenka is at playing. 25 winners is very high. 23 unforced errors is also very high. And look at the more consistent player here is Pegula, 9 and 11 unforced errors. And look here, that's what I was saying about the stats really tell a very different picture to what actually happened in that first set. Sabalenka only won by 1%, winning 51% of the first set points. So of course this was a clear no trade signal for me, because of course we want to have confidence in the player we're backing in the second set. So let's have a look at what happened in set 2. Messy again. Okay, so had you been backing her with any of my strategies, we would have had an early loss there. There was a 15-40 which you could have escaped, but then pretty messy. Yes, she did actually go in the lead here, but whether you'd have been mindful enough to re-enter or felt confident enough to re-enter, I doubt you would have been able to take advantage. Certainly following my risk-averse strategy, I wouldn't have done, and that's of course why I have this quite in-depth first set analysis. And then, of course, Pegula was broken twice at the end of the set, giving Sabalenka the US Open final. Now let's have a look at the men's. So again, this was another no trade for me. Sinner was the real odds-on favourite, and it was pretty inevitable that he was going to win. However, I thought Fritz could have put up a strong performance, and I really did want to trade this. I'd really planned to trade it, but it wasn't to be. So first set, he got broken on his first serve of the first set. That's understandable. It is the US Open final, so of course, nerves are going to play a part. And actually, he broke back. But then went to pot later on with 2 breaks. Now, for me, for men's ATP, especially with the top players, 3 breaks of serve is an automatic no-trade signal. Because, of course, again, like I said with the women's when discussing it, you need to have confidence that your player is going to be holding serve in the second set. So, the stats in this first set. Pretty ordinary first aces and double faults. That's all pretty ordinary. First serve percentage, very poor. So this is a major alarm bell, 38%, very poor indeed. But 55% of the serves that did go in is not too bad. 44% is a bit low. 8 out of 18 second service points won. That is not great. Versus 60%. Now again, breakpoints saved. Now I often talk about breakpoints saved as it's an interesting way. It can be a major alarm bell, or it can actually be a sign of confidence in the player. Now, 4 out of 7 is not too bad, but again, the fact that he has 7 breakpoints to save is an alarm bell. Winners, pretty low winners there, 5, but pretty low from Sinner as well, really. It's more sort of consistent play rather than aggressive play. Unforced errors at 12 versus 8. Not a major alarm bell, but quite considerably poorer than Sinner. And total points won, 43% versus 57%. So that is above the 40% threshold. So if the other stats were looking good and he hadn't had the 3 breaks, then it could have been a green light to trade the second set. So what happened in the second set? Now essentially, I decided I wasn't going to trade anyway because of the 3 breaks, but actually Fritz actually put up a strong performance here. However, because of the market confidence in Sinner, the price movement was just not there. You could not trade off these serves. And of course, the risk versus reward ratio was completely unbalanced. You're locking in, if any, a tiny little bit of profit on each serve. But of course, if it went your other way, all of that risk would just be completely wiped out and you'd be massively in the red. So again, it's been proven that by really looking at the stats and the points, it is so important to give you confidence in trading the second set and of course later sets in Grand Slams. And as I said, every single one of my no trade matches throughout Platinum Traders for the US Open, my decision not to trade was proven to be correct, as I would have lost money had I not paid attention to those stats. Now I hope you found this video useful, and until the next time, happy trading. Now, if you found this video useful, then please do check out my YouTube channel for loads more videos and subscribe to be notified of when I upload new videos. And if you'd like to become a successful tennis trader, then you can start your journey by enrolling on my free video course, An Introduction into Tennis Trading, at protennistrader.com. And you can also grab a free copy of my ebook, Tennis Trading, the Ultimate Guide to Getting Started. I'll see you soon.